Yeah, Rob, $775 million is a lot of money, but it's only over 2 months. So if you were looking at the same shortfall over the next 12 months, starting July 1st, we're talking about $4.6 billion hole to start. As unpredictable as this pandemic has been, there is one aspect of it that has unfortunately been very predictable for states like Ohio.
When the economy goes down, two things happen. The costs go up, and at the same time, the income that's coming in through taxes, of course, goes dramatically down.
Carving a quick $775 million hole in the budget, $300 million of that, though, the state made up in cuts to K-12 education. The governor's message to superintendents has been that he wanted to take a rip-off-the-Band-Aid approach. The longer the cuts were delayed, the deeper and more painful they would need to be. He also told me he had this message for them.
Our goal is to get through next year without any more cuts. I don't know that we can do that, but that certainly is our goal.
These are the toughest financial times for the state since 2011, when Governor John Kosich took office that January, facing a $7.7 billion hole in the budget, a hole he would later fill famously by cutting the amount of money the state gives to local governments. But in return, he gave them collective bargaining reforms that at the time would have saved those local governments an estimated $1.1 billion in the first year alone. The uproar from the state's unions was huge. Even after it was signed into law, SB 5 ended up as a referendum on the state ballot that November, as Ohio voters chose to repeal the reforms. Kasich took his lumps and moved on, telling me at the time,
"In an ocean of change, sometimes the shark gets you."
It has been a third rail since, but I asked Governor DeWine, though, given the financial situation, might collective bargaining reforms be revisited?
You know, we've not had any discussion about that. I stay in touch with the mayors. I talk with Mayor Jackson, for example, virtually every day. You know, we have talked about a lot of different things. No discussion yet about that.
And while Washington has the luxury of running up a budget deficit, states do not. They not only must balance the two-year budget, but Ohio must balance each of those years individually.
Yeah, no kidding, John. When it comes to states like Ohio, there are limits where they can cut.
Yeah, state is essentially the middleman for the money that they collect, the tax money that comes in. Less than, a little over 10% of the state budget goes out towards state agencies. So more than 85% of it goes out to municipalities, local governments, education, Medicaid. That's why they are always the first target of any cuts that come down the line.
Good to see you, John. Thank you.